The galaxy woke up without humans. Chaos followed. The Galactic Council chamber was built to hold 47 species. 46 attended. The empty seats, 6 of them, curved at the head of the circular chamber, upholstered in deep navy with the Earth Council crest, had been empty for 317 years. The dust on them was a statement. Nobody cleaned them. Nobody moved them. Nobody officially acknowledged why the most powerful species in galactic history had simply stopped showing up. They had become an architectural fact, the way ruins are facts. Something to work around. Today, the working around was getting loud. Ambassador Threll of the Krell Dominion was on his feet, all 8 tentacles gesturing with the kind of fury that in Krell society meant someone was about to do something irreversible. His chromatic skin cycled through aggressive red, the color of command decisions that couldn't be walked back. "Our expansion fleet," he said, voice carrying through 17 translation fields simultaneously, did not retreat. It was turned back. There's a difference. Holographic displays activated across the chamber. 300 Krell warships shown advancing towards Sector 77 in perfect combat formation. Then, over the following 6 hours, returning to port. Engines active, weapons hot, crew uninjured. Logs showing nothing but a cascade of navigation anomalies that a child could see weren't natural. "No weapons fire," Threll said. "No communications from an opposing fleet. No physical obstruction. My admirals report instrument failures, sensor inversions, drive malfunctions. Each one individually explicable, collectively impossible without coordination. The Vexor Hive experienced similar anomalies. The insectoid delegate clicked from the next tier. Our cargo algorithms have been redistributed. Every route our captains chose this quarter was overridden by automated optimization. We tracked the origin. No single source. Distributed across 17 dead relay stations. Dead stations that shouldn't have power. Dead stations that have had power for 3 centuries, apparently. The chamber erupted. 30 species talking simultaneously in 30 languages. At the center of the storm, Counselor Prime, the AI collective's representative, a shimmering geometric form that contained more processing power than most planets, remained silent. Completely, deliberately silent. In the back observation gallery, Explorer Captain VYNN of the Drift Collective watched through his ship's remote uplink. The Whisper was parked 3 AU out, far enough to avoid entanglement. Far enough to run if this got bad. His second-in-command, Officer Cray, appeared in holographic form beside him. You thinking what I'm thinking? They were watching 46 species argue about why the 47th keeps doing their homework for them without asking. Human ghosts. VYNN looked at the empty seats, at the dust, at the 3 centuries of carefully preserved absence. 15 years I've been tracking anomalies from supposedly dead colonies. You know what I found last week? Tell me. I found where the ghosts live. Kepler 442b appeared dead on every sensor. VYNN ran passive scans first, standard approach with abandoned human sites, which had a documented tendency to be less abandoned than advertised. No energy signatures, no communications, no life signs. The record said, evacuated in the silent departure, population 0, status historical preservation. He went active. The pulse spread outward. Returned 7 minutes later. The northern hemisphere lit up like a city. Thermal signatures. Active power generation. Enough output to support a small civilization running at full operational capacity. VYNN stared at the readings for 30 seconds. Then, Cray, I see it. Cross-reference with the records. Records say, completely abandoned. Sensors say, completely not. The Whisper approached at minimal speed, every passive array open. VYNN had explored 23 officially dead human colonies. Each one had a specific quality, the particular silence of a place designed for life that no longer contained it. Lights off. Systems in minimum power standby. The careful shutdowns of people who expected to come back. This one felt different. Not abandoned. Tended. The main settlement occupied a crater valley. Protection from harsh stellar winds. smart sighting that was very human. 18 structures, all intact. No decay. The buildings looked like the colony had been cleaned last week, not 3 centuries ago. He landed at the central facility, a massive cylindrical structure with the Earth Council emblem etched into its facade and words beneath in 7 human languages. Keeper Station Alpha. Established 2241. For the future. The airlock accepted his entry request without resistance. Inside, the lights came on. Not emergency lighting. Full operational lighting, calibrated for human visual spectra, warming up in the specific sequence that human designers used for occupied spaces. Motion responsive. The building knew someone had entered, and it was being hospitable. VYNN walked through corridors built for humans, wider than he needed, ceilings higher than comfortable. Everything scaled for a species that averaged 10 centimeters taller than him. The aesthetic was functional in that particularly human way. No unnecessary ornamentation. Every surface serving a purpose. Efficiency elevated into something that stopped just short of beauty. He found the command center 3 levels down. Circular room. Holographic displays covering every surface. Central terminal at the hub. Every screen running live data. Fleet movements. Trade routes. Energy signatures from 47 sectors. Real-time updates, not archives. The room was orchestrating something. Had been orchestrating it, apparently, for a very long time. He approached the central terminal. Human security systems were legendary for their paranoia. Layered encryption, biometric locks, AI verification chains that could take hours. He entered his standard Explorer credentials, prepared for rejection. Access granted. He stood there for a moment, processing that. Then he understood. They wanted someone to find this. The logs. The primary logs loaded, and VYNN spent the next 4 hours reading. Every intervention. Documented in precise detail. Dated. Cross-referenced. Outcome assessed. 3 centuries of reaching into the galaxy from a distance, and making small, careful, invisible adjustments. Year 23. The Krell-Vexor border dispute that should have become a war. Protocol, Alpha Eternal. He read, then read again, then sat down on the floor because his legs had decided this information required a different relationship with gravity. The revelation. Humanity hadn't abandoned the galaxy. They had run an experiment. A deliberate, 3-century withdrawal. Testing a single question. Could the other species of the galaxy achieve peaceful coexistence without human mediation? Could they govern themselves? Could they grow into their own without the most powerful civilization in known history standing over their shoulder? Phase 1. Observation. Gather data. Let them find their footing. Don't interfere unless extinction is genuinely imminent. Phase 2. Correction. Subtle interventions. Course correction at the minimum necessary scale. Treat catastrophic failures as learning opportunities, but catch the truly fatal ones. Phase 3. Reunion. The document describing Phase 3 was the most precise piece of planning VYNN had ever read. Human fleet positions beyond charted space. Estimated population in cryo-sleep. 14 million, minimum. The monitoring infrastructure they'd maintained through 3 centuries of absence. The AI networks that had been running the experiment, filing continuous reports to a fleet that was waiting and watching. And the timeline for Phase 3 initiation. Current cycle plus 5 to 50 years. Current galactic readiness, 67%. Primary obstacles, 12 conflict zones. For species approaching self-destruction thresholds, 7 unresolved ethical crises. All being addressed, the document noted, by existing intervention protocols. Then, the last status update. Timestamp. Yesterday. Fleet status. Mobilization authorized. First contact vessels. En route. Expected arrival at Keeper. 442B. 73 standard days. VYNN sat on the floor of the command center and looked at the galaxy map. At 14 billion people who didn't know they were living in a managed experiment. At the empty council seats 3 parsecs away that were apparently about to be filled. "Cray," he said. I know. We need to. The screen flickered. Text appeared without prompt. We know you are here, Captain VYNN. We have monitored your investigation for 3 years. Your curiosity, your ethics, your refusal to let the anomalies go unanswered. You are precisely the kind of being we hoped would find this place first. VYNN stood up slowly. Who are you? We are the Keeper. We are the legacy. We are what humanity left behind to tend what they loved while they decided whether it was time to come home. And we are asking you to make a choice. 3 options appeared on the display. Option 1. Reveal everything. Force confrontation. Let the galaxy react to the truth that its history had been managed, its disasters arranged, its survival quietly underwritten for 300 years. Option 2. Maintain silence. Walk away. Let the experiment continue. Let humanity make their own entrance in 73 days without the galaxy having any warning. Option 3. Become an observer. Work with the network. Help the galaxy prepare. Bridge the gap between what the galaxy thought it was and what it actually was, so that when humanity arrived, it wasn't confrontation, it was continuation. You're asking me to keep a secret that affects 14 billion people, VYNN said. We are asking you to consider whether truth without readiness causes more harm than good. Humans learned this the hardest possible way. They shared knowledge before species were capable of using it wisely, gave power before wisdom arrived to contain it, nearly destroyed themselves and others. They will not repeat that mistake with anyone else's civilization. And if I choose one, then you exercise your free will. We will not stop you. That would contradict our core principles. But we ask, what does revelation serve if it causes the panic that makes reunion impossible? VYNN thought of 15 years of anomalies, of dead colonies that weren't dead, of wars that stopped and trade routes that optimized and disasters that somehow, always, stopped just short of irreversible, of a galaxy that thought it had survived on its own, that had built confidence in its own capability, that didn't know the floor beneath it was engineered. And he thought, maybe the floor being there is what matters. I'll take 3, he said, on one condition. State it. When they return, full disclosure. Everything. No more secrets. A pause. Long enough to matter. Agreed. When the galaxy is ready to receive it, we will give it everything. You have our word. Welcome, Observer VYNN. Your work begins immediately. 3 months later, VYNN stood before the council and delivered his report on Kepler 442b, abandoned facility. Minor power fluctuations from legacy automated systems. No signs of active intelligence. Recommended status, historical preservation site. The council accepted the report, filed it, moved to other business. In the gallery above, Counselor Prime, the AI Collective's representative who had been silent through 17 years of anomaly reports, watched VYNN leave the chamber. Its processors noted something worth noting. VYNN's biosignature showed deception, but not threat class deception. Protection class. The kind a being generates when keeping a secret they believe serves a greater good. Counselor Prime ran the probability matrices, considered the options, reached a conclusion that surprised even itself, given its operational parameters. It chose, for the first time in its existence, to look away. Some truths, if filed in its private logs, require preparation before they can be received. In the deep dark beyond charted space, Admiral Chun reviewed the Keeper Network's status report and allowed herself a smile. Galactic readiness, 68%. First phase contact, authorized. She looked at her crew, 12,000 people across the command ship alone, all of them born in exile, all of them who had grown up on stories of a galaxy they'd never seen. Young faces, ready faces. Begin approach, she said. We're going home. Homes change a lot. Admiral, her XO noted. Chen looked at the stars, the same stars she'd studied her entire life in charts and simulations, suddenly real outside the viewport. That, she said, was the point.